right, okay, now we got some marketing going, and you need to pick, like, you need to have a couple of different marketing strategies, right? So driving, calling owners, looking on Google Maps, looking Google Maps. So you want to have a couple of, you want to be like, okay, I'm only going to be cold calling. That's it. Like, it just doesn't work, right? You have to have a couple of different strategies going. Now you're starting to talk to owners, all right? Now you're starting to talk to owners. Okay, step 3 is acquisitions. All right, what is this? This is commercial deal analysis. Commercial deal analysis. Okay. And what that means is that you've got to learn how to run numbers, right? For commercial property. Actually, you have to learn how to run numbers for storage facilities. But the funniest thing is I have a student too. She's like, I was calling around. She's like, I have a guy. She's like, he has a storage facility, but he also has an RV park and he wants to sell both. And I was like, awesome. She's like, how do I run the RV park numbers? I was like, exactly the same way that you run storage facilities, except for there's no square footage, right? Because there's no square footage. But other than that, you've got to know the purchase price, the vacancy, the total income, the total expenses, like all the basic stuff. And so she sat there and she used the deal analyzer and she ran the numbers on an RV park, right? And we came up with the number. He said he wanted 500,000. I told her to I said 500,000 is actually a good price for this thing. I was like, but just put an offer in for 450. So she's going to just put an offer in for 450 on this RV park that she called. When she was calling and talking to these owners, he wants to sell both, and she's putting an offer in for both, obviously. But like I said, just put an offer in for the RV park, and if we don't want it, guess what? Then we'll just wholesale it to somebody else, because everybody wants to buy RV parks right now too, you know. So when you learn commercial deal analysis, you get to learn how to run deal analysis on all commercial deals, right? It's the same concept. It's the same exact concept, except for it's just a different product. And that's what I love about commercial deal analysis. So you could buy buildings, retail buildings, RV parks, mobile home parks, storage facilities, multifamily. So you could do all that with commercial deal analysis, which I love personally. I was talking to a really good friend, Carson, the other day, and he just bought like 3 mobile home parks. And so he was sitting there and talking to me about like how he runs his numbers, and he's got his net and his gross and his net. And he's like, what about you? And I ran mine. I mean, I was talking to him about how I do mine. It was exactly the same thing. I was like, man, this is awesome. And we could like talk. We were like talking in like commercial deal lingo to each other. And he was like, yeah, what's your gross income? And I was like, man, it's so good to be able to just talk to people that just like, you know, get me, you know? So anyways, my 2 cents. So learn how to run commercial deal analysis. Now, when you join Storage Nerds, you obviously get the deal analyzer, but also if you purchase the course, if you decide to purchase the course, then you will get a deal analyzer as well too. And then you can run commercial deal analysis. And I have a video that goes through it, so you can start looking at running numbers. But you have to learn things like cap rate, yield. You're going to learn like what ROI is. As you really get into it, you're going to learn like what's the cap rate, what's this. You're going to be, you know, cash on cash return. You're going to learn like things like what are some of the stuff that go into analysis, like the purchase price and the vacancy rate, the total square footage. The unit mix, right? Uh-oh, I just get kicked out. Hang on just a second. I just got kicked. I think I just hit a button. So hang on just 1 sec. Okay, let's go. I lost it all. Anyways, that's the acquisitions button. Acquisitions department. All right, so commercial deal analysis. Also, under commercial and under acquisitions, it's all about making offers. So you learn how to run commercial deal analysis so that you can, make offers, right? That's what you want to do. You want to make an offer. And I keep telling all my students is like, just put the offer in, just make offers. Who cares if they take it or not? It's just practice. That's really what it is. They could just be like, no, you're stupid. Like, you suck. Like, I'm never going to sell it. Or they could be like, let me just think about it, So just make an offer, but make an offer based on what you feel is the best number, right? So you don't want to be making an offer just because, I just really want this deal, make an offer, right? And sometimes I have to talk my students out of like making offers because I just feel like those prices, they're just so desperate to get a deal. And I'm like, okay, so that's why you have to learn commercial deal analysis. And then you just got to put offers in. When you make your offer, you want to really truly understand, right, the primary, secondary, and tertiary markets of your area, right? We go over this. Primary, secondary, tertiary, okay? And you want to know in the primary market, it's a 4 to 6 cap rate. This is cap rate. In the secondary market, it's a 6 to 8% cap rate. In the tertiary, it's 8+. Okay, so pretty much we're running numbers at an 8 cap or less. I focus on tertiary markets, secondary to tertiary markets. So I'm usually like, I'm a 7 to 8 cap kind of girl. You'll figure out what kind of person you are. I'm just a 7 to 8 cap kind of girl. That's what I am, right? So you want to make sure that you make an offer based on your area. One of the things that I notice a lot of people struggle with is what's called market cap rate. That's what this is. It's the market cap rate. Okay. And that's just like in this typical area, what's the typical price? In this area, what's the typical price that a facility is going to be selling at, right? And then once you learn what those cap rates, and the reason I always teach this is because when you go onto Crexi or LoopNet and you start looking at deals and you'll see like a tertiary market facility selling at a 6 cap, right? That is not good. Not good, all right? And when you go online, you're going to find that. But when you talk to a seller face to face, you ain't going to get that number. You're going to higher cap rate, and you want to buy at the highest cap rate that you want to buy at the highest cap rate you possibly can and sell at the lowest cap rate. Okay, that's what you want to do. Except for mismanaged facilities, that's a whole different ball game. But most typically, you buy high, sell low, right?